Here at the corner of 3rd and King, it's Orange Friday. And maybe a change in color will spark the Giants out of their current funk and get them back in their winning ways. Matt Cain is also trying to get back on track, and tonight he'll face a team that he's dominated throughout his career. Cain takes on the Cubs in Game 1 of the series, and it's coming up next. It's Friday Night Baseball here at AT&T Park as we get ready to welcome in the Chicago Cubs in Game 1 of this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants stay in the National League Central. They rush the Reds out of town, and now it's the Chicago Cubs. And, Mike, I think what Bruce Bochy's looking for is a Giants clean game. Good pitching, defense, and some clutch hitting, and that's what they need to start to do.
Well, it always does get back to the pitching, and I think Matt Cain coming off his last outing where he threw 5 solid innings after the All-Star break showed me that the rest that he got during the All-Star break was beneficial. He also got an extra day of rest coming into this start. So I think you're going to get a good start from Matt Cain. You do that, you get some early zeros, relax that offense, and then you can have your Giants game. And I think these Cubs, who have almost an identical record to that of the Giants, I go, this is a series weekend that you have to play good baseball. You can't say it because the Cubs aren't playing well that they're going to be easy to beat, because they're not. This is the big leagues, and you better bring some game.
And they'll try to do that tonight behind Matt Cain. All right, when we come back, Amy G is going to take a look at a big home run that Hunter Pence hit in April against the Cubs in Chicago, and it was a game-tying home run. Amy G on that right after this.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
Well, your San Francisco Giants are well rested after a day off, and they're ready to take on the Chicago Cubs in a 3-game set, and this will be the final series of this homestand. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and it was against this Cubs club that the Giants have one of their best highlights of the 2013 season. Back in April, the Giants were in Chicago for a 4-game series at Wrigley Field, and in the final game of that series, the Giants were down by a run, down to their last strike, and Hunter Pence comes up to the plate. It's our AT&T U-verse Rewind this evening, and our own Dwayne Kuiper has the call.
Here's the 2-2. Pence hits one high and deep into left center field. Back is to Jesus. It is out of here. Game tie.
Oh, and listen to the Giants fans.
Hunter Pence with his 4th of the year. How about that?
Oh, down to their last strike.
Giants went on to win that game 10-7 in extra innings. Be nice to see another Hunter Pence home run this evening. Fans are gearing up. It's Orange Friday, and Matt Cain will square off against Edwin Jackson. Kruk and Kuip will have the first pitch and lineups. First, after these messages, we're going to check in with our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update. Stay with us.
Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 58 degrees here at the yard. We have winds at 16 miles per hour. Humidity is high, and it is cloudy and windy as the fog gets ready to come on in to the ballpark. Matt Cain takes them on. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. It'll look like this. It'll be DeJesus, Junior Lake, the rookie, and then Anthony Rizzo. The numbers for DeJesus against Matt Cain, very good. Sherholtz will be the cleanup hitter, then Castro Valbuena. Hitting seventh will be Darwin Barney. Wellington Castillo, the young catcher, will hit eighth, and Edwin Jackson will pitch and bat ninth.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Matt Cain. And this is what he has done in 20 starts. He's 6-6 with a 5.00 ERA. 107 strikeouts in 117 innings. You're going to get about 5 or 6 different types of movements. A low 90s fastball with a changeup, cutter, slider, curveball. He'll cut and sink the fastball. Lifetime against these Cubs, 6-2 with a 2.46 ERA. He has done well against Chicago. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Matt Cain. For the Giants, starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Francoeur, Blanco, and Pence. Great arms on the corner. Brandon Crawford joined by Pablo Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Tony Abreu playing second base tonight. Marco Scudero will get another day off. He's joined by Brandon Belt on the left side of the infield. Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Cubs are coming off a 4-game series in Arizona, where they split that 4-game series, losing yesterday. They also lost their leading home run hitter in Alfonso Soriano, as Soriano traded to the Yankees right before this series.
And the Cubs could see some more changes before Tuesday's trade deadline. And I think every team could say that around Major League Baseball. Kind of an unsettling time of year for everybody in baseball.
So here's David DeJesus. There's the fog. It is indeed getting ready to roll on in. DeJesus hitting .261, 6 home runs, 21 driven in. You saw his lifetime numbers against Cain, very good. And the first pitch is outside. So we get started at 7:16. On deck is Junior Lake, and the 1-0 pitch to David DeJesus is driven past Abreu and into right field for a base hit. So ownage is ownage. Here's our Coors Light cold hard facts. Most hits in first 7 career games, and that's since 1900. Bo Hart leads the group, and then someone you might recognize, Kirby Puckett. Jay Bruce, 15. Junior Lake with 15. So off to a good start. It's called making a solid first impression. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. He's got a couple of big flies. He's got 5 runs batted in. And a check on DeJesus, who's got 3 steals. Lake has done all this damage on the road.
Yeah, he's got power and he can run. He'll bunt, he'll push, he'll drag.
Here he shows bunt and he takes outside to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. You can afford to trade Alfonso Soriano if you need to find a spot to get this guy at bats, and that's exactly what happened. DeJesus does not go, and a swing and a foul off the backstop. It's now 1-2. Cubs are 23-29 on the road. They're 9-12 against teams in the National League West. Belt holding on to DeJesus. Swinging a foul out of play. Kane at 93 with that fastball.
All right, nice play up in the club level. All right, let's take a look. Ready? Oh yeah, I got it. Got to work on the high five though.
He's 0 for 2.
Junior leg from the Dominican Republic. San Pedro de Macorís. A baby. 23 years old. What do you call that?
Attitude, lots of attitude.
Attitude.
The 1-2 is fouled again out of play, so Kane going right after Lake with fastballs. Crawford, Abreu at double play depth. DeJesus opens up the game with a base hit. Kane trying to give Buster Posey a shot in case DeJesus takes off. He does not go, and this is hit on the ground to Sandoval. Sandoval picks it up and now juggles it, and everybody's aboard. A hard hit ball, but one of which I'm sure if you ask Pablo Sandoval, he should have made this play.
Well, he does get his body in front of it like an old catcher would. But you get a topspin, one hop line drive. It's just, you don't, they're rough because they're unpredictable. And they come up high, you know you're going to wear it. You just hope that when it hits you, it's going to drop close enough to where you can make the play, and unfortunately, it did not happen.
So an error on Sandoval, and here's Rizzo. Rizzo, young hitter with lots of power. He's hitting .239. He's got 14 big flies. Kane, however, has owned him pretty well. 1 for 14 with 6 strikeouts.
Rizzo, 23 years old.
Home plate umpire Mark Carlson making that call.
Man, he's a good pitcher's umpire. I mean, you'll see some high strikes too with Carlson. He will at times have some inconsistencies to both corners, but for the most part, it's a good zone to pitch to. Jerry Davis, crew chief, at first base. Dan Asagna at second. Brian Knight at third. Those are your umpires.
Swing and a miss. So Kane gets Rizzo. And that'll bring up Nate Sherholtz.
Yeah, this is about as good a changeup as you can throw right here. Really gets the big guy out leaning. Completely took his legs out on the swing.
Nice round of applause for former Giant Nate Sherholtz.
He's been on a tear the last 5 games. You see the numbers: 8 for 15, 2 home runs. Lighten it up.
In tight when Sherholtz faced Kane earlier in the year in April. Sherholtz went 1 for 3. One of the hits a double.
Giants fans know Nate Sherholtz can be streaky.
Rolls this one foul to even the count.
Cut that fastball right in the hands. Nate Sherholtz has a flat swing. He likes the ball middle away, and a lot of teams try to pitch him. Yeah, I like that guy's number.
Had a bit.
Had a bit. Clyde Frelick. Now that's a ball dude for you. Clyde's no rookie either. He's been around.
Down and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Giants 3-4 on this homestand. They win tonight. They'd love to get to 500. Nope, cannot hit that spot. It's 3-1 with Starlin Castro on deck. There's the young shortstop, not a rookie anymore.
He's the centerpiece in this Cubs lineup now. With Alfonso gone to the Yankees.
Sherholtz hammers this one foul, so it's 3-2.
He's got a good glove. That may be the first one ever made. He came ready. Got an antique for a glove. Best looking jersey in the place. Clyde Frelick, ball dude extraordinaire.
Sherholtz fouls it back. He had a challenge fastball to hit.
It is weird pitching to an old teammate, especially one you liked. And I don't know if you ever get used to it.
And the payoff. Got him.
Got him to chase that little slider down below the zone. So 2 big strikeouts for Matt Cain, trying to pitch through an air. That's the problem with a flat swing, is it's tough to hit that low part of the zone, especially when you're swinging it and it's out of the strike zone.
Castro hitting .249, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs. He's 4 for 17 against Cain. And the first pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. A single, an error, and then 2 strikeouts. Cain a long look to second, and he doesn't get the call. It's 2-0.
That's what he wanted.
So hitters count for Starlin Castro. Swinging a tapper foul. Mentioned he did have a lifetime home run off of Cain. This happened in April. He got a hanger.
Yeah, he can hurt you if he can get extended. And that's what he wants. He wants some stakes out over the plate.
Cain a long look to DeJesus. 2-2.
Now that is something he has always done. He's always chased. Slider way out of the zone. Now you can go back down there again. You can go above the hands with a high fastball.
Got him. Strikes out the side after the first 2 reads. Giants coming up. And their lineup looks like this. It'll be Blanco, Abreu, and Buster Posey. Pablo Sandoval is the cleanup hitter. Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence has been hot in his last 14 games. Pence will hit in the 5th spot. Then it's Belt, Francoeur, and Crawford. And Matt Cain will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Chicago Cubs will be the right-hander Edwin Jackson. 20th start. He's 6-11, 5.03 ERA, 92 strikeouts against 38 walks in 107 1/3 innings pitched. Jackson, 29-year-old, in his 8th year at the big league level, throws hard. You're going to see a lot of mid-90s fastballs. He can sink and cut the fastball, and that high 3/4 release really gives him a good curveball with lots of tilt. It's a 12-6 break. He'll throw a slider and a changeup as well. And Edwin Jackson's a guy who he can throw some scuds out at you. Breaking balls that bounce 4 feet in front of home plate. Let's take a look at the defense the Cubs will employ behind Edwin Jackson, starting in their outfield. It'll be Lake, DeJesus, and Shearholtz with good arms on the corners. Castro and Valbuena on the left side of the infield. Barney and Rizzo on the right side. And Wellington Castillo will be in the squad, putting down the signs. Edwin Jackson, lifetime against the Giants, 2-2 with a 5.06 ERA.
So Blanco hitting at 265. His July hasn't been a very good one. As he steps up. And he takes a fastball, a high strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
See a lot of those from Mark Carlson.
One and one to Gregor Blanco, Abreu, and then Buster Posey. And this is rolled to second. And Blanco's retired.
Darwin Barney, last year the Gold Glove Award winner of the National League at second base. So if you hit the ball on the ground, go pick somebody else.
Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, he's really good defensively, but a lot of people felt they went to the wrong guy. At least people in Cincinnati thought that.
Well, Brandon Phillips certainly deserving as well.
Here's Abreu hitting 288. Marco Scudero still a little stiff. And the 1-0 pitch to Abreu. Abreu bounces this one to Rizzo. 2 down. So a couple of ground balls, and here's Buster Posey. Homer Bailey and Clayton Kershaw. That's the matchup tonight in Southern California. Dodgers, Reds.
You know, what's really amazing is what happened to Edwin Jackson last year or so. He used to be a fly ball strikeout guy. Now he's throwing ground balls. He's fallen in love with the sinker, and he's really got a good pitch to get the ball put on the ground with.
And a good fastball to get a strike to Buster Posey, hitting 318, 14 home runs, 59 driven in. And bang, bang, 0-2. And the 0-2 to Buster Posey is in the dirt to his back foot, 1-2.
Just throw one down and in, move his feet.
Outfield straight away. Lake, DeJesus, Shearholtz. Two and two.
Boy, Jackson was walking off the mound. He thought he had strike 3 with that slider. And with Carlson, you know, that slider could have been called a strike. It was close. if you throw the same pitch, he might call it. And that's some of the inconsistencies that he has when you start talking about his corner calling.
This is lined right at Nate Scherholz, and that'll end the inning. Onward we head to inning number 2. It's 0-0.
We're going to show you some Matt Cain highlights. All 3 outs in the first inning by way of the strikeout. 0-2 changeup. Rizzo grabs some pine, meat, and then it was Nate Scherholz on a 3-2 slider. See ya. And then another slider was the payoff pitch that got Starling Castro back to the bench, and that is good pitching, and that is our Ford right choice.
Here's Luis Valbuena, followed by Barney and then Castillo. And a strike at the knees. .231 the average for Valbuena. Does have a little pop. 9 home runs, 31 driven in. Yeah, we're going to do a game from there one of these days. Are we joined by other people?
I think Bruce Bochy's in the back.
Yeah, I think Buster's on there too. 2 balls and a strike.
Yep. Boch, Buster, Frank Zappa, they're all out there.
Yeah. 2-1 delivery to Valbuena. Swing and a miss.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the. Nobody's made contact with that pitch yet.
There's the Panda. Yep.
I guess we invited a lot of people, huh?
They got 4 lines in the water, too.
Hunter Pence moving over, but it's going to be Blanco. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy, what do you got?
Dwayne and Mike, an important member of the Giants family, is on the DL. PA announcer Renelle Brooks Moon fell Wednesday night and broke her leg. She's home, recuperating. We're thinking about you. We miss you. Filling in for her is Joe Hallisey. He's been the voice of the USF Dons for 29 years. Thanks for helping us out, Renelle. Get better. Get back here, guys.
Yeah, that's upsetting. She is the original gamer babe right there.
They thought about canceling the game.
Well, they should.
It was under consideration, and then right at the last second they said, okay, we'll play. So that's how much power you have, Renelle. They also closed the Bay Bridge for you for about a half an hour this afternoon.
I heard that.
They heard you weren't going to be here, so they said, oh, we'll just close the bridge. But They found out you were doing fine, so they opened it up. See, it's moving now.
Yeah, it's up to 5 miles an hour now.
Foul back again, 0-2.
Kane is throwing darts tonight.
The other thing we should tell Rennell, that we do know that Joe is sitting in her chair, but there's a line of about 40 other people that are waiting to get in there. So you better get back, because there are people that are waiting to get into your chair. And Gargano's one of them. 1-2 to Barney.
So Rennell, bottom line is, hurry up and get back.
There's Joe.
There's Joe.
Yeah. Voice of the USF Dons. And in the chair next to him, Chris Gargano. It's the first ball David Bell has ever missed in this ballpark.
There's David Bell, a good Giant, good big leaguer, and someday he'll be a manager. No question.
David wasn't trying.
Yeah, I remember having better hands than that, though.
He wasn't trying. Hit high in the air for Blanco. Blanco, 2 outs. And here's Wellington Castillo. Tom McDonald actually thought about grabbing that microphone, Rennell. You find out who your friends are when you're gone.
Wait, we're getting a report now that Rennell Brooks Moon is in her car en route to the ballpark.
And she's got one leg out the window. Here's Castillo. And call strike. Castillo hitting .262. Could be heading in on a boat. 2 home runs, 16 driven in. Towards the hole and into the hole. The 1-2-3 inning has been tough on this homestand.
They really have. Well, the Reds they played baseball that we hadn't seen in a while. They were near flawless. And the big asset that offense had is the ability to put a crooked number up, and they did just about every 1-2-3 inning in every game.
Well, plus you got guys like Votto and Chu that will take their walks. You don't find many guys that have power, that can hit the ball out of the park, that are just as happy with taking a walk as they are to swing the bat, and that's what Chu and Votto will do.
There's the whole gang. Willie Mays showed up. Tim Lincecum came. That took some time. I'm impressed.
Jackson takes a strike. He's 3 for 30 on the season. Jackson takes a mighty rip, and he fouls it straight back off the facing of the deck right in front of us.
You talk about livening up a section. There we go. It always finds a good home.
One and two on the pitch just off the plate. So for Kane, that was pitch number 40.
And he thought he had an inning ender right there.
Away from the target, it's 2-2. Abreu is going to call everybody off, and that'll end the inning. So Jackson pops out. No runs, a hit, 1 left for the Giants. Sandoval, Pence, and Feld coming up. 0-0.
brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Well, next homestand, the Giants take on the Milwaukee Brewers for a 4-game series, August 5th through the 8th. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, August 5th through the 7th, or 17-15 starts. That Thursday game, August 8th, it's a 12:45 day game. There are still great seats available for all 4 of those Brewer games. All you need to do is go to sfgiants.com and get yourself some seats.
So here's Sandoval. Sandoval, Pence, and Belt. Jackson with 2 ground balls and a line drive to right field in the first inning. Down low. 9 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Does have some ownage on Jackson, 6 for 11. He's got a double and a home run lifetime against this Cubs right-hander. Drives it to left. Lake is going to play this one off the bottom of the cars. Sandoval better go, and he's going to make it. And that's a leadoff double.
Well, that's the swing of the bat that gets everybody excited. Because Lake, who's got good speed, had no chance. This ball just got over his head so quickly. Back spins it right out to left field. High fastball. But you got to get going because Lake's got a good arm.
So here's Pence. Pence hitting .278. 14 home runs, 51 driven in. One ball and no strikes. Taps it to third. Valbuena will throw out Pence. So of all the at-bats that Pence has had on this homestand, most of them have been to right field, and the one time you'd like to see him go to right, he bounces out to third.
Yeah, non-productive out.
So here's Belt. Belt at .263. Right there at the knees, and it's 0-1. Now the overshift is on with Castro to the right of second base.
Slightly open stance.
Hit on the ground to Rizzo. Jackson covering, Sandoval to third.
4 ground balls. So dramatically different than when we first saw Jackson when he first came up. Just fly balls and strikeouts. It's rare that he put the ball on the ground. But now, that's what happened. I mean, he's in his 8th year. Mess around with some grips. He'll learn how to throw a sinker. And now this is becoming a very good pitch for him. 4 of his outs tonight of the 5 have been ground ball outs.
And a called strike. Rancourt, 209, 3 home runs, 14 driven in. We were impressed with Wellington Castillo in April. We were impressed with his work behind the plate, and in that series he did swing the bat pretty well. But overall, is from what we saw in that 4-game series, we liked him. out of play. It's now 1-2.
Well, the Cubs like him too. I mean, they had Giovanni Soto, a former Rookie of the Year, that was ahead of him, but they felt that Castillo was going to be a better player. When you compare to all of their abilities, and they let Soto leave the organization, elevated Castillo, and basically said, "You're the guy."
And Francoeur is going to swing at a pitch in the dirt to end the inning. A wasted leadoff double. Third inning coming up. No score.
Buy Grinds coffee pouches. Get the product that players use and visit getgrinds.com today.
No score. Third inning. Top of the order, David DeJesus for the Cubs. One ball and no strikes.
Yeah, the corners drive you crazy on Carlson's strike zone. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Just can't count on them.
Two and 0. 2 hits in this game for the Cubs. DeJesus has one of those hits as he drove a ball between Belt and Abreu. And he pops up the 2-0 pitch to Crawford. Crawford backpedaling. For years, StubHub has been the place to find great Giants tickets. Find great seats for upcoming Giants home games, Red Sox, Dodgers. And this season you can get more with your tickets thanks to the StubHub fan rewards. So get the StubHub and grab your tickets today. Darren Lewis is here. He's a very good Giant.
And one of the best center fielders we've ever seen.
I think you could go out there right now and dazzle him.
Yep. I don't know if his range would be the same, but what he could get to, he would dazzle you.
He would catch it. Kind of a jerk, though, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was one of those indicators.
He was a great guy.
If anybody ever said a bad word about Darren Lewis, he just got up and left the room. Walk as far away from that guy as you could, because D. Lou is one of the all-time great ones.
1-1 to Junior Lake. 1-2 to Junior Lake.
You look at Lake, And I mean, he's a long arm swinger. And to hit up here, he's going to have to learn how to hit that inside pitch. He's a big guy, 6'3", 220.
And he goes around as he chases the high fastball.
Fourth strikeout. All swing and miss strike threes.
Here's Rizzo. Rizzo struck out in the first inning. Full house tonight. Friday night. A lot of energy. Good night to get in the win column for the Giants before they take on the Cubs for 2 more, and then head on to Philadelphia
with one stop in between. Giants on Monday, their off day, are going to stop by, shake hands with the president, celebrate their 2012 World Championship in style in the White House. It's a great tradition.
3-0 to Rizzo. And a strike. You'd think that Rizzo would have the green light. We'll never know. It's 3-1. Ball 4.
So you want some Darren Lewis defensive magic. 1994, Bud Black on the mound. And watch it come back as he takes a home run away. Barry Bonds over there to give him a celebratory high five.
No, that was about a week before. I don't really want to talk about it, but it was about a week before the strike.
Yeah.
Curl to the swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
Giants were just starting to put together a run. Matt Williams was the hottest man on the planet, hitting home runs every day.
Bill Strawberry was playing well. Oh well.
Enough about 94.
Trying to get over it. A ball and a strike to Nate Sherholtz. Out over the plate, a 1-2. A little more of Darren Lewis. He had great strides in the outfield. I mean, he could eat up some grass in the outfield.
Yeah, very stylish center fielder. And I think the really great center fielders, they do have a style about them.
Yeah, it would have been really fun to watch him play here.
Yeah, a lot of room to run around here. Big right center, big left center. You got to have a guy out there who can cover some ground in this ballpark.
High to Nate Sherholtz, 2-2. Two pitch coming up to Nate Sherholtz. And Nate Sherholtz works it to a full count.
Yeah, this time Nate's not biting at that breaking ball down the dirt. Starlin Castro wanting to hit this inning.
Rizzo goes. Sherholtz, it's a little pop-up into right field. And Hunter Pence is going to slide. And he does it again. He makes the catch.
Style points. He goes into a slide as good as anybody. Beautiful.
Another great play by Hunter Pence.
Is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company.
No score as we head to the home half of the third inning. Hunter Pence seeing if everything is still in one piece. And here's Crawford. Crawford, Kane, and Blanco. Crawford hitting .274. Shows bunt and takes low. 1 for 3 lifetime against Jackson. Two and 0.
Take a look at the play that ended it for the Cubs in the third inning. Just a short little pop-up off the bat of Sherholtz. And one right fielder taking away a base hit from another right fielder as Pence slides into it. Nice play.
There's a called strike to Crawford. He's played a terrific right field since he's come to the Giants. There's a ground ball to second. Barney over to Rizzo. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, a roster move today. The Giants activated Joaquin Arias off the disabled list, and they optioned reliever Jake Dunning. But a new pitcher is on his way. Today, the Giants acquired right-handed minor leaguer Guillermo Moscoso from the Cubs organization. Gentlemen, he's been a starter, but Bruce Bochy said he could fill in as a starter at this level or in long relief. Yet to be determined whether he'll go to Fresno or San Francisco. Guys?
Thanks, Amy. Pitch to Kane is a strike. Kane on the year 3 for 33. And a high fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Blanco to follow. AT&T Park on a Friday night. Orange Friday, lots of orange in the stands. Watching Kane bounce this one right over the on-deck circle. And Kane is gone swinging. Second strikeout for Jackson.
And he gets a lot of strikeouts with that breaking ball in the dirt. It's a big one. I mentioned he's got a high 3/4 release, kind of a short armor, but it's an unusual arm slot in that most guys are out of the straight 3/4 slot. So it is higher. And because of that, the curveballs are a little more acute. It's a different angle than you're normally used to seeing.
So here's Blanco. Blanco rolled out to Barney in the first inning. And he takes this one wide. 2 balls and no strikes. Bumgarner tomorrow night. The 2-0 pitch. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, Valbuena, the third baseman for the Cubs, played way back on that last pitch. I mean, he was now coming back in even with a bag, but for one pitch, there was a vulnerability over there. I thought that Blanco might see that. It's one thing a bunter will look at every pitch.
Lake will run out of room. It's 2-2 now to Gregor Blanco. Foul back. It's kind of odd. You see the third baseman play off the line. You see the left fielder play on the line.
Yeah, it's a left-hander pull defense for the third baseman, but yet it's a right-hander pull defense for the left fielder. I used to do that with Barry Bonds. Play the infield to pull, the outfield the other way.
Three and two. Really, Bonds just plays straight away because if he hits it over your head, it was probably going to be gone anyway. There's a play shallow. High to right field and deep. Sherholtz back. Sherholtz will put it away in front of the State Farm sign to end the inning. So Blanco gave it a ride. Fourth inning coming up.
brought to you by The Smurfs 2 in theaters July 31st.
There is no score. Well, all right, the score is 0-0 as we head to the fourth. Castro, Valbuena, Barney to face Kane here in the fourth. Dugout store. Oh yeah, you want a certain kind of hat or cap? Check it out. Into center field, Blanco now comes in.
All right, time now for our AT&T trivia question. If you think you know the answer, tweet your answer to CSN Giants. The question tonight: which player in Giants history had the most hits in a game without scoring a run? Remember Wednesday against the Reds, Hunter Pence had 5 hits and did not score a run.
I think that's the answer, Mike.
No.
I didn't come up with another question.
That is not the answer. You think I'd do that? I would go to the woodshed.
There's a call strike to Valbuena. Fly ball to center field. That's how Valbuena was retired in the second. Hey, he gets the call on a pitch that probably wasn't a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, it's a floater out there on the corners. But it is a big zone, and more often than not, he'll err on the side of the pitchers. But you will get some rubbernecking with Carlson's strike zone.
One ball, 2 strikes. Got him.
Wrapped around that little cutter in the outside corner. First called strikeout of the night. Kane now with 5 punch-outs. Posey setting that wide target. Sort of carves it back in on the corner. See ya.
There's a call strike to Darwin Barney. Oh, and 2.
But Matt Kane gets it going. He has 6 movements that he can give you, all are quality. And he can carve you up, and he can make it look easy, and he's doing it tonight. You ask Matt Kane, what's your best pitch? And he probably couldn't tell you. That doesn't even enter into his mind, because he can use all of his movement, all of his pitches at any time, to any hitter, at any swing type. His best pitch is his ability to pitch. Mixed speeds, movement, location.
Kane trying to put away Darwin Barney. This is hit high into left center field for Francoeur, and that will retire the side. So 2 fly balls and a strikeout. And now the Giants have Abreu, Posey, and Sandoval coming up.
Then comes to visit, one of the greatest Giants ever. How are you, and what are you doing here?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. It's nice to be here. We're here up for my daughter's 16th birthday. This was her. We asked her what she wanted, and she said, "I want to go to San Francisco and go shopping and go to a game." So it works out perfect.
Oh, and you're the best dad ever to make that happen. Shopping and a game. I love that. Big day for you when your daughter turns 16. But the Giants fans love to see you. And I talked to apparently one of your besties today. I didn't know. I was just trying to get some scoop. Mark Gardner, the bullpen coach for the Giants, said you're one of his best friends, if not the best friend in baseball.
I've known Mark for a long time. We were in Florida together and spent a lot of time, and families got to know each other, and we spent some off seasons together and did some trips. And Mark is one of the best guys out there. He's knowledgeable about the game. He used to help me mechanically all the time, so he was a big part of my career.
As a former teammate of his, and then watching him as a coach, you dealt with a lot of coaches. What do you like about how he helps you with your mechanics? What do you like about his coaching style?
He's just easygoing, and he knows the game. He knows mechanics. He knows the mental side of it. He's been through the ups and downs. He knows the inner parts of the mechanics, and there's not a whole lot of pitching coaches out there that are like him that can do what he does.
I know you keep tabs on this team, and they've been through some tough times this season. What advice do you heed to players going through a skid like this? What did you do when you were a player going through rough times?
I think you just got to keep grinding out. I mean, good things happen. You look over the last couple of years, what they've done, and they've always been right there, and they get hot at certain times, and they kind of roll into the playoffs and keep going. I think that's something that they haven't really kind of got on that roll yet, and we all know as players that you kind of go through roles like that, and you get hot, and you ride that streak as long as you can. And I think as long as those guys are mentally in the right frame of mind and mentally tough and know it's going to happen, it will.
Did you get a chance to say hi to Dwayne and Mike?
I haven't. I'm going to get up there soon.
Oh, he's coming up to see you, so he doesn't even have to say hi to you here. Rob Ned, thanks for stopping by. Guys?
He wasn't invited. And Amy, you can tell him that. Yeah, he was. Yeah, you need to be invited, pal.
One of the best ones right there that we've ever seen come through Mike Murphy's clubhouse doors. And the guy he's talking about, Mark Gardner, we feel the same way about. And if you're a young pitcher, this is a great place to be because you're going to get great help. Dave Rigetti and Mark Gardner are just one of the best 1-2 punches around when it comes to learning how to pitch, maintaining a staff. They do a great job.
Buster Posey lines another one right at Nate Sherholtz, so he's done that twice now. His 300th save came right here at AT&T Park. It was 2002 against these Chicago Cubs.
And he was pretty stoic. He didn't celebrate a lot, but that 300 meant a lot to him. And admit that he could look guys like Bruce Sutter in the eye and say, I was pretty good. And he was very good. Had a little bit of a reunion yesterday. He came up to see Kirk Reeder and his family. Anytime men, Reeder and Gardner get together, that's a pretty good conversation. And you know what they're talking about? Pitching.
Sandoval takes down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah. Sandoval fans.
Panda equals TNT. I mean, so far he's been the offense tonight. Giants just 1 hit, an opposite field double that Sandoval had to lead things off in the second inning. He could not score. But Edwin Jackson has really been pitching well in this game.
Tap to Valbuena, who's at the shortstop position, and he'll throw him out. Through 4 innings here at AT&T Park. Pino, 0-0.
history had the most hits in a game without scoring a run. Survey said, well, Mike Benjamin, he went 6 for 7 in 1995 at Wrigley Field, knocked in a pair but never scored a run.
That's wrong.
That was one of the most miraculous weekends I've ever seen a guy have, though.
That's wrong.
That is wrong. 6 knocks, you can't score.
Here's Castillo. One ball and one strike. Castillo single between Sandoval and Crawford in the second inning. Struck well. Blanco. He will run it down in right center field. He had a good jump. He had to go a long way. And a nice play by Gregor Blanco. At Wrigley Field, it's probably gone.
Wow, let's take a look as this ball is slicing away from Blanco. But just a little bit too much height. And for outfielders with good speed, that's the way they like them. And Blanco can cover some ground. High backhander. That game.
Here's Jackson. I wonder. Remember Matt Morris, who came over when Kane was a rook, and Kane kind of watched whatever Morris. I wonder if Matt Morris watches Matt Kane and just smiles when he sees him pitch.
Oh, I bet he does. I mean, they were outstanding friends, and really Matt Morris, the mentor of Matt Kane, and what better mentor to have than a Matt Morris?
Sandoval got him.
We talked about the miraculous weekend that Mike Benjamin had in that series in Chicago. 14 hits. Went 6 for 7 in that 13-inning game. It tied a franchise record for hits in a game. 5 Giants have done it. And he never scored, which was kind of weird. But 14 hits in a 3-game series. It's like, who is this guy?
We're going to have our guys in the truck check to see where Mike was hitting in the lineup. I'm assuming he's hitting at the bottom of the lineup and not hitting second.
Well, he may have been hitting at the bottom on Friday, but come Sunday, he was probably moving in. They said he hit second in the 3rd game. I'd like to know how many hits he had the whole year. He had 14 in a weekend.
So they're saying he did hit second in that 6-hit game. Well, then I'm going to blame hitters 3, 4, and 5 for not doing anything.
Well, there were some pretty good hitters in that 3, 4, 5 spot.
I would think so.
Pat Williams, Barry Bonds. Come on. Is Ellis Burks here?
Well, they're telling us Bonds, Glenn Allen Hill, and Royce Clayton hit right after. So, all right, so they had a bad day. Line drive, Belt off his glove down the right field line. DeJesus is going to now try to go for 3. Here's Abreu's throw. It's offline, and DeJesus with a triple.
Just off the tip of the glove of Brandon Belt.
May have jumped a little too soon, Mike.
Pretty honest effort, though. It's 6'5". If he can't get it, there's nobody else in that infield that could either.
So here's Junior Lake. Lake has reached on an error, and he has struck out.
They're respecting the bunt on the left side of the field with Sandoval even at the bag.
One ball and no strikes to Junior Lake. 5th inning, no score. Cubs had runner in scoring position in the first inning for Rizzo, Sherholtz, and Castro, and Kane struck them all out. This is the first time since then that the Cubs have had a runner at second or third.
The relay a little bit late. You see Sandoval trying to deke to Jesus. He's not biting. David Bell right there directing traffic.
Kane comes in now 3-1. Three and one to Lake. Popped them up. Belt. Side retired. DeJesus stranded at third. For the Giants, it'll be Pence, Belt, and Francoeur. 0-0. Cubs manager on Alfonso Soriano's departure. We got everybody together to say our goodbyes. It's emotional for all of us. You don't usually gather teams together that often when people are traded to say goodbyes. That just shows the kind of person that he is. Well, like Alfonso Soriano, these are his numbers. With the Cubs, said 181 career home runs. And there's a strong rumor, I have no idea if it's true or not, that he had a chance to come here last year and declined. I'm not saying it's true, I don't know, but if you believe a lot of the things that were written.
Well, he does like warm weather. But you know what, though? I mean, he really did justify that investment. He led the Cubs in all those categories. The only thing he didn't give them that they thought they were going to get were stolen bases. They kind of dried up, but he played every day. He was relatively injury-free.
Yeah, good teammate from what we hear. Low to Pence. It's now 2-0. Penn takes low. 3 balls and no strikes. Pence's name keeps popping up in what now for me is like almost the worst time of the year.
I don't like it. I don't like it because you go to any website and you'll have a category specifically designed for nothing more than rumors.
And Pence looks at a strike, 3-1.
And we know firsthand that there are writers around the country that they'll imagine a trade, throw it out there, and just completely create their own rumor, almost as if to suggest to their general manager, hey, you should think about this, without any concern as to what it does to the player, to a clubhouse, to a family.
Pence fouls it back.
This is the time of year I feel really, I feel for the wives. I do, because they do not handle it well. Players, I guess you just become used to it after a while. But wives, it's just hard on them. When their husband gets suggested in a trade, not fun.
Cap to Castro. I told you there are two things that I won't read about.
What two?
Trade rumors at this time of the year and Kim Kardashian.
All right, well, here's something you should watch, and that's the NBC Bay Area Investigative Unit led by Tony Kowaleski. They're an award-winning team of 14 journalists dedicated to holding the powerful accountable. The Investigative Unit on NBC Bay Area, we investigate, even Kim Kardashian.
Here's Belt. Overshift is on for Belt, and the pitch is wide. 1 ball and no strikes.
Omar Vizquel's here.
I knew once he got out of the game he'd get a little beefier. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's go.
Still got that wink, you know. Uh-oh. No. It's not him. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's not him.
No.
Belt on the ground, foul. Belt trying to reach for Francoeur. 2-2. There's Francoeur. Well, Boyna, the only defensive Cub on the left side of the diamond. And Belt goes the other way, and he hits it into the seats. Foul. The Cubs feel, when you see this, that Belt will hit the ball to the opposite field, but only in the air. They feel like if he's going to hit the ball on the ground, he's going to pull it. That's the way they see it.
Well, they've got the records to prove it.
3-2.
Every ball that gets hit is chronicled, and a team will put it into their database. How it was hit, ground ball, line drive, fly ball, pop up, where it was hit, what the pitch was, what the location of the pitch was. And over time, you amass quite a ton of information about a guy, and there are tendencies.
Belt, line drive, foul.
Nice play. Oh yeah, knuckles from a gamer, babe. Don't ever turn those down.
Belt fights off a fastball in.
Next pitch will be number 9 in the at-bat. Good battle going on.
Got him.
Slider and a good one. And a 3-2 payout pitch. Well, tonight was social media night, and if you bought a ticket for the social media night, this is what you got. You got a rain glow. Remember, that's Marco Scudero.
I want to get that.
That's pretty cool.
I want to get that.
National League Championship Series, Game 7, when it was a downpour. That was pure joy.
Francoeur high and foul and out of play. No. Uh-oh. Think he's coming up here?
He'll be up here shortly.
Wasn't invited. Francoeur. Off the glove of Jackson, and that's the greatest hit of the year. The greatest hit of the year, and it comes here in the 5th inning on July 26th.
Well, it just shows you the ball is not carrying to center field tonight. The old saying is after you read that Sporting News, you hit with it, and that's kind of what it looked like. And this is a big league knock. It would have been a great play from Jackson. Tried a high backhander. I mean, that's a noble effort right there. I think that thing hit about 4 inches above his thumbs.
The greatest hit of the year, and here's Crawford.
But the best part about it is that he will smile about that. Jeff Francoeur does have a personality and a good sense of humor. And that broke up 11 straight, retired by Jackson until that hit.
Crawford bounced out in the 3rd. And he takes down low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Roberto Kelly liked that swing of the bat. That's how he used to hit him. Just kidding, Roberto.
Crawford takes low. Crawford lines this one right at the second baseman Barney, and that'll end the inning. The snow globe, the rain globe, the globe. I like it.
I love that thing.
22nd at the TPC Harding Park. You can join Hall of Famer Willie McCovey, more than 20 other celebrities, Giant celebrities, for a day of golf, prizes, great food, and a lot of fantastic sports in their auction. Also, just a lot of fun. The sponsor level twosomes and foursomes are now available. All proceeds benefit the Giants Community Fund. And this is how you get in. jrgiants.org to reserve your spot now, or spots. Rizzo takes low. It's 0-0. Rizzo, Sherholtz, Castro, top of the 6th. Kane with pitch number 88 on the night. And this is rolled foul.
A good old-fashioned duel. Just 5 hits in this ball game. Both guys are really in command of all their pitches tonight, which is why we're at a 0-0 score.
Skied into right center field. It'll be Pence. And Rizzo's retired. And that'll bring up Sherholtz.
The other thing, too, is you get 2 guys throwing like tonight, they're feeding off each other's rhythm. There haven't been any long innings where a guy has to go into the dugout and get stale. And when you have a good rhythm, you want to get back on the field and continue. Now, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice if Kane could pick up a couple runs. But I'm just saying the reason these guys are in such a good rhythm is they're both sharing the same rhythm. There you see the distribution of pitches. And that's what makes him who he is. Good change up.
Ain't gonna miss. And Jackson's pitch terrific. Oh, 0-1 to the former Giant. And he takes a strike.
Talk about how Sherholtz has just heated up these last 5 days. And the Giants saw him in Chicago, Wrigley Field. He had a great series against his former team.
Oh, 0-2 to Sherholtz. Hit well into left center field. It had the right sound. And this one is off the bottom of the wall. And Sherholtz has a 1-out double.
And that's an 0-2 swing of the bat. They set up in the outside corner, and that really is pretty close to where they wanted it. It's a nice job of defending that strike zone and going the opposite way, and he almost knocked it out of here. Right at the base of the Budweiser sign in left center.
So here's Castro. Castro has struck out and he's flied out. And that fastball runs in.
Big changes going on in the Cubs organization, and they're going to continue not just within the team but within the stadium as well. Wrigley Field to go undergo big renovations.
Yeah, like $500 million worth.
They're going to redo the stadium. They're going to have a common area right there at Clark and Addison. They have a hotel across the street.
Inside corner, 1-2. Sherholtz with his lead, and it's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kane looks to second. And this is bounced up the middle under the glove of Abreu. Here comes Sherholtz. He's going to score. And it's 1-0 Chicago.
And that's one that'll make a second baseman shake his head.
Well, it looked like it went underneath his arm, not his glove.
He just overshot it. And your play here is just to stop it from going into the outfield. It's a base hit. And that's one he'll think about. I'm sure Matt Cain will as well.
So here's Valbuena. Valbuena with a swing and a miss. No balls and one strike. Cubs draw first blood here in the sixth. One out double by Sherholtz and then a single by Starlin Castro. Runner goes, swinging a shot foul behind Roberto or make that Dave McKay, the first base coach of the Cubs. So Cain way out in front of Valbuena. Castro's got 8 steals. He's been thrown out twice. He does not go. And this is skied to left for Francoeur. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Darwin Barney. Barney is flied out twice, once to center and once to left. Fouls this one out of play, so Cain planting that pitch on the inside part of the plate.
A lot of good attitude in that group.
Quick toss, Castro back.
You have to make every base runner stop, but especially guys like Castro who just like to get a little bit of a movement rolling into their lead.
And a pitch out. Cruz Bochy doesn't call many. He does there. It's a ball and a strike. Crawford's going to track it down, and that'll end the inning. A run on 2 hits, 1 left. It'll be Cain, Blanco, and Abreu coming up.
authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, Friday, August 9th is Wine Fest 2, presented by Loca, the wines of Lodi, California. Your special event package will include a ticket to the game versus the Orioles, and then access to the pregame Wine Fest, a complimentary tasting card, and a collector's edition wine stopper of event host Giants alum Rich Aurelia. For tickets, go to sfgiants.com/special event. Get your tickets today and get in on the fun. Loca, the wines of Lodi.
1-0 Chicago.
Taking a cruise on the Cove. It's kayakable.
Kane will lead things off. And then Blanco, and then Abreu. And the first pitch is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson's pitch number is good.
Yeah, there's a big discrepancy in pitch count between the pitchers. Jackson's throwing a lot fewer pitches than Kane.
Kane skies this one into left center field. It's going to be the left fielder, Lake, who makes the catch. Get up to the minute you're up with Today in the Bay. See breaking news, your weather forecast, and real-time traffic. Watch Today in the Bay weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m. on NBC Bay Area. So here's Blanco. Blanco is 0 for 2 as he shows bunt, and he takes a pitch down low.
Hey, bachelorette party. What a great idea. Come to the yard. Gamer babes.
Blanco skies one to left. This is under control for Lake. Let's check in with Amy G. Amy?
Hey guys, I've got 8-year-old Lainey. Lainey, who's your favorite Giant? Marco
Scooter.
Yeah, okay, how interesting. Lainey, I just interviewed his wife, Maddie Ness, for Diamond Girls, and you can check it out at csnberry.com. What we talk about? Scooter rowing. Show us how it's done, Lainey. You got it, csnberry.com. Diamond Girls. Thanks, Lainey.
Awesome. Well, here's Abreu, who takes down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Now, do you think Amy set that up? Or that little girl's favorite player is Buster Posey? Well, I don't know. I'm smelling a little rat here.
She had the Sandoval hat on. Yeah, Scudero. That's the Scudero pose.
Depends upon what that jersey says in the back.
Lincecum. She's got it covered.
Oh, Amy. Yeah.
Yep, this little one here.
Uh-oh.
She gets it.
Well, she's got the ball. Oh, that's great.
Amer the gamer.
1 ball and 2 strikes. High to Abreu. Oh, Amy G's all over the place.
It says Amy G is a 10.
Abreu taps it foul.
Yep. Is that her husband, Paul?
Paul's in the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Out of play. Abreu checking the lumber. This guy held on to his brew and caught the baseball, or picked it up.
It's a multi-talented athlete. Keep calm and chive on.
And had the phone going. 2-2 pitch. Got him to end the inning. 7th inning coming up. 1-0 Cubs. Kane and Jackson have been outstanding. Sherholtz has a double, and he scored the only run in this game. Castillo is going to lead things off. It'll be Castillo, Jackson, and then David DeJesus. And a first pitch strike.
Probably going to be the last inning for Matt Cain because of the pitch count at 104 as he throws his first pitch here in the 7th.
High and shallow down the right field line. It's going to fall. Belt gets to it. And aboard is Castillo. It'll be a base hit. You saw that one coming.
Yeah, you know, it really, you probably would not be surprised with how far over towards the right center field gap right fielders play. Nobody had a shot at this thing. Right out there in the Bermuda Triangle. And with that leadoff Texas leaguer, the Giants are going to get some activity down in their bullpen now.
Jackson pulls the bat back, and that's a called strike.
Now he can handle the bat, and you really can't be too aggressive as a corner infielder, because if he sees you crashing hard, he's got that option to bring it back and put the butcher on.
And he bunts it off the backstop, so it's now 0-2.
Wellington Castillo has got average speed at best at first, so if the bunt is bunted sharply, they have a chance to get a double play, or at least the lead out at second. Jackson runs pretty well. He's not an easy guy to get the pair on. There you see Del Swain, the skipper for the Cubs.
Jackson, is he going to pull the bat back? He does, and he hits it high and foul. down the left field or down the right field line and out of play.
I'm not sure if he read the concept on how to put the butcher play on, because you're not supposed to have a lot of swing. You almost get into a bunt position and then pull the bat back as if you're playing pepper, as you see Javier Lopez start to heat up. He's thinking about Anthony Rizzo is what he's thinking about.
Low, 1-2. Kane at the belt. And this bunt is foul, so Jackson cannot get the job done. He got him to bunt that ball foul on a breaking ball.
Well, Monday, August 5th, is Grateful Dead Tribute Night presented by McAfee. Your special event package will include a ticket to the game versus the Brewers and a collector's edition Grateful Dead Uncle Sam bobblehead. Members of the band will be in attendance and participating in pregame activities. So go to sfgiants.com/special events. Remember, you must purchase a special event ticket to receive the Grateful Dead bobblehead.
So here's David DeJesus. DeJesus has a couple of hits off of Kane, and that's not that unusual, because he hits Kane well. And the pitch is high. Dog's been let back into the pound, folks. He's here.
That's a welcome sight.
Yes, it is. Good to see him. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Psyched.
Absolutely psyched.
His absence, I have to believe, was a bit hard on him. He is a diehard.
One ball, two strikes. Got him.
Okay, his stuff is as sharp tonight here in the seventh after 114 pitches as it was in the first inning. A beautiful changeup, complete sell job right at the knees. It just completely explodes down out of the zone, and DeJesus knew he went fishing. Yep. Seventh strikeout for Matt Cain, and that was a big one.
Here's Junior Lake, who's 0 for 3.
This will be the last hitter that Cain faces, no matter what.
Pops this one up. Belt. And Belt puts it away, and that ends the inning. So Cain will walk off the mound, many standing behind the Giants dugout. And they'll have Posey, Sandoval, and Pence coming up. Well, his night is probably over. And what he needs right now to get a positive decision is to have the Giants score a couple of runs.
Well, he pitched beautifully, and he had everything working. I want to emphasize the stuff he had in the 7th was as good as what he had in the first inning. So perhaps some of the fatigue he had in his shoulder, gone. Because he looked fantastic tonight. Now the Giants need to get him some runs.
So Buster Posey's going to lead things off. He's had 2 good at-bats tonight, both resulting in a line drive to Nate Scherholtz in right field. So Posey steps up. And the first pitch is just outside for a ball.
Got to get him in his stress. The Giants have only gotten that leadoff hitter on one time tonight. That was a leadoff double by Panda in the 2nd.
And Jackson comes in with a strike.
Posey has had 2 great at bats. He's hit bullets to right field, both ABs. Both were caught by Nate Scherholtz.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Cut that fastball.
Sandoval to follow. Outside, 2-2. This will be pitch number 80 for Edwin Jackson. And a full count.
Easy take there. And he really hasn't had that many easy takes when he's been ahead in the count. I mean, he's throwing a lot of really good teasers that start off on a corner and fall out of the strike zone. Get your red hots.
Big pitch coming up here to Buster Posey. As Posey steps out, but now quickly back in. Hit up the middle. Barney on the dive. He'll throw from his knees, and he throws out Buster Posey.
Well, there's reasons guys win Gold Gloves. And that may be one of the best plays we've seen all year from a second baseman. This is complete robbery. Beautiful backhander, and from the knee, a one-hopper to Anthony Rizzo on the dot. Just exquisite glove work. And Posey's denied. Nice 2-strike at bat. Does everything right. He winds up with a little bird left on the rock. That's the big leagues.
So here's Sandoval. Sandoval shoots one foul. Hunter Pence to follow. And a swing and a foul that got Castillo, and it's now 0-2. So Sandoval now will have to battle behind in the count 0-2. He doubled over the head of Junior Lake in the 2nd inning. A 1-2 on the pitch in the dirt.
There you see the pitch count. Really just the one inning, the fifth inning, when the Giants got 20 pitches out of Jackson. Had they been able to put a ding in his pitch count. The rest of the night, very economical.
Outside and low, 2-2.
Yep, he's cheering his heart out for his Panda.
Yes, he is.
You got to get him another color T-shirt, though.
Well, bounces another one. It's 3-2.
He'll learn.
He's still got it going.
Yeah. It's tough to slight this guy. He's a true heart.
Sandoval takes the walk. First walk issued by Jackson, and that'll bring up Hunter Pence.
Giants have hit one home run this homestand. They're due.
Pence has bounced out twice. And it's a little low. Mark Carlson actually flinched just a little bit on that one. Line drive, left field line, fair ball. Sandoval will get to third. Pence into second.
He went down and got that one.
Yes, he did.
Little breaking ball that just sort of hung up there above the knees, middle in, and he stung it. No chance for Sandoval to score, but with one out, no need to take a risk down one run. And this becomes a strikeout situation now for Jackson and a fly ball situation for Belt. And the Cubs are going to walk him.
I'm going to say I'm a little surprised they had the infield in.
Well, I think that they thought about it. And the way that Jackson has been putting the ball on the ground tonight, setting up the forced play, is not a bad play.
Yeah, I think Bruce Bochy's thinking about something here.
Well, he's got 5 guys on the bench, which he hasn't had in about 3 weeks.
He's got, for a left-handed hitter, all left-handed hitter, he's got Tanaka. He's got a switch hitter in Andres Torres. But he's also got a guy that's played in the big leagues a long time coming up. So.
Right-handers he's got on the bench is Scudero, Arias, Quiros. Really, Frank Coeur, he's got a 1-for-2 against Jackson tonight, but he has not looked good.
He has not. Arias activated before the game. Now the infield will play back. Little flare to right. This is going to fall. And the Giants take the lead. Ball goes to the backstop. And now they got Belt hung up. And Belt is tagged out. Well, Bruce Bochy happy about one thing, and that's the base hit by Francoeur. Probably a little unhappy at the exuberance of Brandon Belt.
Well, it pays to be strong because you can fight off stuff that lands on your hands. This goes right to the glove and goes up the bat. And Francoeur with a good rip dunks it right out over the head of Barney. And not even the great arm of Nick Sherholtz can do anything about it. But here's where the Cubs catch a break. Ball flipped away, and Brandon Belt was running once he saw it get by Wellington Castillo.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. We'll be back.
Is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Giants have taken the lead here in the 7th on the 2-out base hit by Jeff Francoeur.
So James Russell, the new pitcher now for the Cubs, 51st time he's come in. He's been a situational lefty. You see 37 innings pitched. And he's got a high 80s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, former starter.
And Matt Cain now a chance to get that positive decision. And a strike to Crawford. No balls and 1 strike.
Big, lazy, slurvy breaking ball. Abreu came over to Cain and said, my bad on that ground ball that he couldn't keep in the infield. Cain said, don't worry, you just got picked up.
It's always better to do that now than
after your team takes the lead.
There's a strike to Crawford, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that is a veteran move. From a veteran, that's what you expect. Veteran moves. But you know what, though? He was thinking about it.
Absolutely. Crawford in a battle with Russell. 2-2. Andres Torres is now on deck. Two balls, two strikes to Brandon Crawford. No swing. 3-2.
Ryan Knight, third base umpire, saying no swing, and everybody in the Cubs bench all shook their heads and started screaming at the same time. Did he go? Yeah, that's close. You wouldn't have got a whole lot of argument if they did ring him up.
Crawford digs that one out. That was in on his hands. It remains 3-2.
90-mile-an-hour challenge.
Andres Torres is going to hit.
And that's a great at-bat.
That is a very good at-bat for Crawford. So here's Torres.
See Matt Guerrero. Yep, the same guy that started the season with the Dodgers. He's now a Cub, and he is coming into this game.
So Guerrero's going to come in. He'll be facing Andres Torres, the switch hitter. Giants have taken the lead here in the 7th. Highlights, reaction, and analysis. It's all coming up right after the game.
Yep, tickets $50, hotel 150, drinks lots. Leaving the boys at home, priceless. The attitude of a bachelorette party.
Here's Torres. Torres takes a breaking ball down low.
There you see Matt Guerrero's numbers with the Dodgers and the Cubs. 46th time he's come in. 34-year-old, 3-4 with a 4.34 ERA. You're going to see a fastball that's going to be right around 90. A lot of curveballs, a lot of cutters, occasional slider.
A good swing and a foul straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Francoeur runs well. He's at second. Crawford at first. Strike 2.
Front door sink. Nice pitch. And he'll come back the same side of the plate with that cutter and miss off the plate with it. It's tough to lay off. And he's got his command, and he truly understands the movement of his fastball.
In the dirt, 2-2.
Career about a week away from his 35th birthday. It's his 9th year at the big league level. There you see the defense playing sort of a shallow set in center field. They're trying to cut that runoff, so the Cubs are gambling.
And a full count, and now the runners will be on the move.
The way they've got their outfield position, the gapper here easily clears the bases. And that's a shallow set. And with the runners going, Andres Torres could do some serious damage.
Guerrero chases Francoeur back. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yep.
They're feeling it.
They got the mojo going.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. Torres strikes out. Giants take the lead. 8th inning coming up. It's the Giants 2 and the Cubs 1. In baseball history, July 26, 1991, at the time, Expos pitcher Mark Gardner no-hit the Dodgers in L.A. for 9 innings, but gave up 2 singles in the 10th before being taken out of the game. Jeff Fassero entered in relief, gave up an RBI single to Darryl Strawberry. Giants won 1-0. By rule, Gardner was not credited With a no-hitter, as a starting pitcher must throw a maximum of 9 innings without allowing a hit in any inning, including extra innings. Tough break. Tough break.
Yeah, that was a little harsh.
It was a little harsh. So here's Rizzo facing Lopez.
Likely that Javier Lopez will face 2 hitters.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune Up. Your oil change tune up and smog experts.
Paint that outside corner to Rizzo, as we've seen him do so often, so consistently. Santiago Casilla, he's thinking about one guy. He's thinking about Starlin Castro.
Lopez grabs it and throws it. 1 out.
A little bit of a shift put on. Had it would have gotten by Lopez, it would have been right to Crawford, who was standing almost behind second base. Still a nice play. That ball was hit sharply.
So here's Nate Scherholtz, who doubled and scored in the 6th. Couple of old teammates going at it. Santiago Casilla in the bullpen, and the pitch to Scherholtz is down low. I'm watching Nate, Mike, and I think the difference between his at bats in a Cubs uniform and a Giants uniform, he hits more out of a crouch now.
Yeah, he used to be upright.
And that's rolled foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he was upright. I mean, he was really a flat swing. More of a high ball hitter. He liked the ball up, out over the plate.
Well, when you start hitting out of a crouch, you really kind of become a low ball hitter.
Yeah, he's definitely designed to beat that one area that used to give him problems. Those down and in sliders, breaking balls.
Shoots this one foul. It's 1-2.
Gave up 6 hits, 1 run was earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts.
Who's the most popular guy in the section? The guy with the foul ball, that's who.
115 pitches, 115, 78 of which were strikes. 115, 78 for Kane.
Trying to get Scherholtz to chase. Nothing doing. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
2/3 innings, 4 hits.
Starlin Castro is on deck. This will probably be Lopez's last hitter.
In 62 thirds innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 third, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 5 strikeouts.
High down the right field line, foul, but into the water.
Well, it didn't really amount to a whole lot, but I know it felt good. There is no wind to the right side of this field right now, and there is carry to that side of the park. It's pretty much what we've seen the last, well, this entire homestand.
Lopez drops down, and it's now 3-2 to Scherholtz.
I almost hit him.
And he walked him.
Close pitch. That's one Lopez wanted. But to Carlson's credit, it hasn't been a strike all night.
So here comes Casilla. Casilla will be in to place Lopez. It's a 2-1 lead for the Giants.
GMAG coming up this Sunday at 12 noon. Just prior to Giants pregame live, it's a jam-packed show, guys. We've got Romo mic'd up at the All-Star game. Jeff Francoeur doing his best Hunter Pence impersonation. Find out how one does become a sports agent, and we catch up with former Giant Dave Roberts about life after playing baseball. GMAG, 12 noon on Sunday. Right.
All right, thanks, Amy. It's 2-1 Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Santiago Casilla on board now for his 26th appearance of the year. 4-2 with a 1.59 ERA. Very stingy ERA. And he has been throwing beautiful baseball of late. Fastball, curveball. Fastball, he can 2-seam, 4-seam, slider, changeup.
Nate Scherholtz, 5 steals on the year. He's been thrown out twice. Oh, yeah. He means it, too.
Yep, his Giants are number 1.
And a strike to Castro. Dodgers win. Arizona wins. Colorado wins. 0-1 to Starlin Castro. Look out. 1 ball and 1 strike.
91. Heat seeking right into him. Nate Scherholtz, 5 steals already. But you got to pay close attention to him. He will go. It is a steal situation. That throw recalled by the bench.
Crawford Abreu, double play depth, 1 ball and 1 strike. Line drive, base hit into center field. Scherholtz will stop at second. And that'll bring up Valbuena. So Valbuena, who's 0 for 3, steps up. Now the tying run at second base. Valbuena, in 3 lifetime at bats against Casilla, is 2 for 3 with a double. A visit with Buster Posey.
Posey wants to come out and find out what his thoughts are right now. He's called a couple pitches and Casilla shaking him off. So right now, I mean, this is the biggest point in this ball game. Make sure you're committed to what you're going to throw. Should be pitching for a ground ball here. Early in the count, you're throwing sliders and sinkers. Knee-high location is essential. And we're used to this when Casilla comes in and gets runners on. This game will come to a screeching halt. Very deliberate.
And a strike. It's 0-1.
Cut the outside corner. And Valbuena was not looking middle away.
Comes back at 93 high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants trying to hang on for Matt Cain.
There's Strop, Pedro Strop, the right-hander. It throws very hard. He's in the Cubs pen.
Very pretty to watch, but it's going to be foul.
Look out. The old left-hander.
He doesn't look that happy, does he?
I don't know. I think he's watched the rebound. He took a fall there on the step. So fortunately, everybody's all right. But I don't believe that felt too good.
1-2. And that squirts away from Buster Posey, and both runners advance.
Posey tried to shortstop that ball, and as he turned, once you turn your hand as a catcher, if a ball hits your glove, it's tough to keep it in front of you. Watch him turn it like a shortstop on a backhand. And that totally changes the at bat. Now all of a sudden you got to pitch for a strikeout.
2-2 to Valbuena. Giants play the infield back. Got him.
And he saved that curveball for a 2-strike situation and sends Valbuena packing. And that's the beauty of Casilla. He's got 5 different types of movement, and he gets Valbuena way out front. Just an explosive, beautiful 2-strike hook. Grab some pine meat, but he's not out of the woods yet. Barney will put the ball in play.
He's flied out twice, and then a soft line drive to Brandon Crawford in the 6th. Sandoval's got it. He gets up and throws. Got him. And that'll end the inning. 2 left. It remains 2-1 Giants. At 6 p.m. on NBC Bay Area, And then on Sunday, we'll be back with you on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, 12:30 with pregame live, and then we'll have the first pitch right around the top of the hour. So day off, the White House visit on Monday, and then Giants will be in Philadelphia for 3, and then they'll close out that road trip in Tampa Bay with 3. And all those games will be on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. So Blanco will lead things off. Romo getting loose. Great pitching by Santiago Casilla. And a nice play by Sandoval. Blanco looking to reach here in the 8th.
And the Panda going to his left. If that ball gets into left field, good chance that Cubs take the lead.
Hit well, but DeJesus has got a beat on it. 1 out.
Of course, with Jeff Francoeur's arm in left field, you can't take that too much for granted. Nevertheless, a beautiful play from Sandoval.
I don't think there's any doubt, Mike, that we're seeing him since the All-Star break a little quicker.
No question. He's lost weight.
So here's Abreu with Buster Posey on deck. Abreu golfs this one foul into the first seat.
Cubs fan got it. No? Yes. No. I think he got one earlier. Giants fan got this one.
Can't get 2, right?
Sergio Romo will pitch the 9th.
This one down the left field line right through the Giants bullpen. Is that Mulrooney?
Yep.
I remember the days when he would have that camera and catch a foul ball at the same time.
Oh, they're gone. Oh, soccer player. Holy smokes. Rich Bellison, our ball dude down there. Mike Muldowney is getting some serious footage of our ball dude as he broke 3 toes stopping that ball.
Foul again. Look out.
Front door sinker just missed. All right, let's check out our ball dude. I got this one. Whoa, use your foot. Rich Bellison.
Slowly hit to Rizzo.
We had lunch a few years ago with Rich, our ball dude on the third base side. He was the highest bidder in the KBR Community Fund auction.
Tried to eat his shoe that night on Glenn.
He had the same shoes on then. Hey, you just have to stop it. That's the deal.
Buster Posey takes a strike. Buster Posey 0 for 3 tonight. 2 line drives and a base hit up the middle that was taken away by Darwin Barney. Romo in the 9th inning will face Castillo, the catcher, a pinch hitter, and then David DeJesus. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
A little cut fastball, and that's really become his go-to pitch. Career throws a lot of them.
And Buster Posey out to end the inning. Top of the ninth coming up. Romo coming in.
For Giants postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
Giants with a 2-1 lead here in the ninth inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Let's take a look at the numbers of Sergio Romo. 24 saves on the year. 44 strikeouts against 7 walks, 3-4 with a 2.84 ERA. Last time he came into a game during the Reds series, he saved the only game the Giants won that. In that game, he had to get 4 outs, and all the 4 outs he got, he struck out. He said he had a great slider that night. That is his bread and butter.
So it's Julio Bourbon who's pinch hitting. And Bourbon looks at a pitch wide. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bourbon hitting right at 200. As a pinch hitter, he's had 6 pinch hits, but he's also been up 33 times. Little flare that Crawford's not going to get. So Bourbon with the leadoff single. And that's going to bring up Deanna Navarro.
And with Bourbon at first base, you've got a base stealer. He's got 7 steals on the year. He's only been thrown out once. Kevin Gregg, the closer of the Cubs, makes his way down to the bullpen. And if you're Sergio Romo, you got to think about being quick out of the stretch. I don't think they're going to pinch hit Navarro to bunt. And that would mean that he might take a pitch and allow Bourbon to try and steal. Or they could put on a play. They could hit and run.
Outside to Navarro.
He's done well pinch hitting, 6 for 18 with 2 big flies. One of them came against the Giants when they were in Chicago.
The only hit Navarro has had off of Romo in 4 at-bats was a home run. April 12th.
Flashback to that day in Wrigley Field. He went to the inside corner and Navarro just yanked it. A wind-aided home run. That was the only pitch that he went on that inside corner with, and it cost him. And tonight he is staying away. It's also a guy who hits into double plays.
Three and 0. And De Jesus is on deck. And a soft toss, and back easily is Bourbon.
And Del Swain, the skipper of the Cubs, and he will green light a guy with power. And Navarro has got some pop, as we showed you. And that hurts.
So the walk to Navarro.
A rare walk from Sergio Romo, and just like that, the Cubs get a runner in score position for free, and very quickly Jose Mijares heads down to the Giants bullpen.
Well, this has been set up against Romo with 3 straight left-handed hitters. The only right-handed hitter that's due to come up is the guy on deck, and that's Junior Lake. Then after that, you got Rizzo and Nate Scherholz. So we'll see what De Jesus does here. He's 2 for 2 lifetime off of Romo. Swing and a miss, 0-1. It may be that Dale Swaim isn't going for the tie. He's going for the win.
Well, it's definitely an unorthodox scenario here. I mean, I don't know too many guys, too many managers on the road that wouldn't bunt, no matter how hot a guy is. Giants keep their middle infielders back, and they'll respect double play depth, looking for that ground ball.
And this is rolled foul, and it's now 0-2. Now De Jesus, a guy that's tough to double up. He runs well. So if anything, maybe the perfect out here is a strikeout or a pop-up. Way outside, not close, 1-2. Romo takes a bit of a walk off the side of the mound and walks up the hill. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him.
Huge strikeout. Pure strikeout situation. Runner at second. Nobody out.
He shook Posey off twice to get to this.
He wanted the front door sinker, and look at DeJesus back off, and the movement brings it right back to the strike zone.
Well, now Romo will face a kid.
Well, he'll face Junior Lake, who has never faced him before, and that's always been an advantage to a guy with a no-dot slider like Sergio Romo. But he's been red hot until tonight.
1 ball and no strikes.
And that was a hanger.
This is the first right-handed hitter that Romo has faced. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the slider you expect to see from Romo.
The one that starts on the outside corner and then just falls off the plate away. Guys can't lay off because they don't see the spin of a normal slider.
Sandoval. Not in time. So Lake, who runs extremely well, reaches on a fielder's choice. But a good turn.
And this one had kind of a funny hop. Sandoval had to back up, catches the high hop. And there really wasn't much more that Abreu could put on that throw. He got every bit of it over to Belt, but just as you pointed out, too much speed from Lake. He can run. So the Cubs clinging to life.
So here's Rizzo. Rizzo is 0 for 3. He walked in the third. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. And he gets the call at the knees to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Romo sets right at the letters. 2 balls and a strike.
Tried to come backside with that slider, just a wee bit low.
Belt holding on Lake. 3-1.
Nate Sherholtz on deck.
See what Rizzo gets right here. He gets a slider at the knees, 3-2.
That'll get everybody on their feet.
And it's important that everybody realizes with Lake going, you got a base open, so you don't have to come into Rizzo. It's 3-2. That's going to be high and foul down the right field line and out of play, so we'll reset and do it again. That one was up there for about 2 days.
At least. A 3-2 fastball on the hands, up and in. And Rizzo was on it.
Belt letting Romo know that he's going to play behind late.
And up and in, sets up soft away. He is not throwing him a changeup. They're going back in.
Runner goes. They're going to foul back, so he dug it out.
And they tried to go front door sink there, and it got a little leaky. That's a pitch. If you miss, you want to miss off the plate in with an open base.
Three and two. On the ground to Belt through his legs. One run's going to score. They're going to wave in late. And the throw home is going to be late. And the Cubs take the lead.
Rizzo hits a sharp slider down the line. They were guarding the line, playing him deep. You can see how far back Belt was. I don't believe it. As sure-handed as he is, he can't believe it.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. On the air by Belt.
So the ball now goes into the hand of Jose Mijares. 41st time that he has come in.
And the pitch to Sherholtz is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Sherholtz is 1 for 3. Drew a walk in the 8th. Same spot, 2-0.
Those first 2 fastballs weren't even close. And that has not been a problem with Mijares. His control has been fantastic. Not used to seeing him that far away from the strike zone.
So Mijares 3 pitches. None have been close. It's 3 balls and no strikes. With Castro on deck. And that's a 4-pitch walk. And here's Castro.
And now Maharis is going to have to face the right-hander. A big mistake.
Castro, only right now, Maharis is 0 for 5 with coming into the strike zone. So Posey back behind the dish, 1 ball and no strikes. And at the knees to even the count.
Finally a strike.
Giants in the bottom of this inning will have Pablo Sandoval to lead things off. I suppose he may have gotten crossed up, and I think he did.
Going to go out and talk about it. And Mark Gardner's going to come out. He says it's a bit of a mechanical problem. It looks to me like Maharis is overthrowing. And that may be the message. You need to throw at the speed you can get in that strike zone. Giants down 1 run. They don't want to go back down any farther than that.
Two and 1 to Starlin Castro, and it's 3-1.
Again, not close.
And now the bullpen is going to start moving around.
Well, this is going to be an extreme red flag, red alert. Because right now, Maharis has no clue where it's going. John Machi head down.
It's going to be a souvenir. It's 3-2, and now the runners will be on the move.
You don't want to get into a situation where you don't have a feel of the ball. You just have to lay it in the strike zone. Not to a guy like Castro. I mean, he's got too much power. And if you throw something up there that doesn't have any location to it, you're feeding his hand.
Out of play with the runners on the move. So 3-2. Check swing roller. Abreu charging, and Abreu will throw him out, and that'll end the inning. Sandoval, Pence, and Belt. Giants need 1 to tie and 2 to go home.
Pitcher now for the Cubs will be the closer, Kevin Gregg. It's been a good story for the Cubs this year. 38th time that he's come in. He's had 19 saves in 22 opportunities. 35 strikeouts in 37 in the third inning. So when you take your bats off him, you're going to see a low 90s fastball. He will 2 and 4 seam. He's got a pretty good slider and a great split. And his split really is his strikeout pitch, especially the left-handers. And look what he's done to lefties, hitting just 162 against him.
Navarro now doing the catching. Sandoval takes a called strike. Sandoval high and foul and out of play. He's only faced Kevin Gregg one time, and he's 0 for 1. Sandoval has been on base twice. He's doubled and he's walked. Pence is on deck. And that is outside 1 and 2.
Gregg really has been a good story for these Cubs, as we mentioned. The Dodgers released him right out of spring training April 3rd. The Cubs picked him up about halfway into April and pushed his way into the bullpen and eventually assumed the responsibility of closer. And he's done a great job.
Two and 2 to the Panda. Line drive, base hit. Sandoval is aboard.
Panda's fired up. He should be after this at bat because this is not a hanger. He went down and beat a pretty good pitch.
Pence in Chicago. This tied the game in the 9th inning. Yep, Pence is a little fired up. Tanaka is running for Sandoval, and Pence hits a high fly ball center field. It's in the park, and DeJesus puts it away. And here's Belt.
Well, if there ever was an opportunity to redeem yourself after a tough air, this would be that time. And he has the ability to go the opposite way. And against Kevin Gregg, you're going to see fastballs on that outside corner. If you see anything on the inside corner, I'd be surprised. Check the runner.
Tanaka with really good base stealing speed. And Belt drives into center field. DeJesus on the move, and DeJesus will track this one down on the track. Well, the Giants are picking the deepest parts of this ballpark here in the 9th inning, and that'll bring up Francoeur.
Yeah, he hits his ball well, too. Saw the look of dejection as if he just got AT&T'd. Winds up being a pretty easy play, and you can see the frustration.
So here's Francoeur. And a swing and a miss by Francoeur, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Out of play, 0-2. Giants are down to their last strike. 1-2.
Trying to elevate that fastball to get Francoeur to chase.
Two and two.
4 pitches, 4 fastballs. He has not thrown a slider. He has not thrown a split.
Tanaka with his lead. And now they'll check on Tanaka. Out of play.
All fastballs.
Two balls, 2 strikes. See the target of Navarro. And this is skied to left. Lake is coming in, still coming in. And that's the ball game. So the Giants lose one that they really should have had. And tonight, it was a strong performance from Matt Cain, but a costly error in the ninth.
Well, this is one they're going to think about for a while. We've been scuffling to find ways to win, and you lose a tough one in the ninth with your closer on the hill. That is one that you're going to think about for a long time.
Final score, Cubs 3, Giants 2. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews and the wrap is coming up. But first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio for an update.